another episode,
Yes.
and today today we are talking sports.
Yeah.
Sports in the sense of like what all sports have we played, from where it began, what all sports did you do, at what point in your life did you take up what sports?
Right.
I know it took a lot, so lots to discuss. Yeah. So where do you
begin.
wanna start?
Like, we can start with the first sport that
Yeah.
we tried, like, right from the beginning, and then we'll just progress.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So,
What was the first sport did you try?
well, I only tried a couple of sports. I mean, growing up in Tata Colony, you had like access to so many sports.
Yeah, fair.
So, you could play whatever you wanted, whatever, and then, of course, like the proximity to the ground and the facilities were like endless. So, like picking up a sport was, of course, like just whatever just rocked your boat. Like there were
Exactly.
kids playing all the sports, like everything, whatever you wanted to play, there was some or the other like group of bunch of kids that you were playing. But for me, I think I just gravitated towards football more so than cricket. Like in our family, like we watch, like dad watches a lot of cricket. We grew up like watching a lot of cricket, a
Yeah.
lot of football, like a lot of cricket also. Like I really like watching cricket, but I never sort of had the desire to play it. I did play, okay, like with kids in the society.
Right.
But when I actually found football, I think it comes from like when dad and like me used to watch like World Cup games and like wake up really early in the morning. Something just drew me towards football. Something, I don't know what. Like maybe it's just that so many other people were just playing cricket that I wanted to play football.
Yeah.
So I still remember like first when I wanted to play, first was getting a football. So fine, dad was like, okay, let's get a football. So we got a football, and I remember like taking that football onto the ground. There was a ground in Type 2 where we lived, like right in front there was like that fountain garden.
Right.
So I went there and I tried to kick it, and I rolled my foot over the ball and I fell. Like I fell backwards for the first time. And at that time I was what, 6 maybe. And there was like no coaching or anything at that point. At that point you were just playing, and I was like literally amongst the kids who were there. They always wanted to play cricket, and once I got a football, I just was like, I took my mind out of cricket like at that time.
Yeah.
So this was like around when I was like 6 or 7. I was still, and then I met like this guy. His name is Elton. He sort of saw me like really struggling,
Okay.
and then he just taught me like very basic, like how to pass with like the side of your foot, how to like run with the ball, and then just things just started happening naturally. Like I picked it up. I just started finding more and more opportunities to play. I used to go all the way down to the big ground on the bike or the cycle, or like take the shuttle or just walk. Sometimes I used to walk. I used to be very scared to walk through that little slum.
Yeah.
I used to have right outside Tata Colony. Like literally the gate is here, and then it just. And then after that was the ground. But then we ended up moving there.
Yeah.
But till then, I still remember I used to go and like play football, and I used to play with kids like twice my age.
Right.
And just like I don't care
So
if I get
everything.
hurt, and like they were like, you're too small, like you'll get hurt, and then your mom will come and tell us shit. But like no, don't worry about that. I just want to play. So yeah, like and ever since I started, like I don't think I've gone like long ever. Like the longest that I have gone without playing football was I think COVID, into maybe 3 months.
Yeah.
But like now I'm 28, so like if I started at 6, it's been like 22 years.
Yeah. That's a long time.
Yeah, and to continue playing, like I've like not stopped, which I really really enjoy. Like I mean, I have gone through multiple levels of like all kinds of like however seriously I wanted to take up football, I was allowed to. Like,
Nice.
of course, like all the credit goes to our parents. They never said no to
yeah,
sport.
that's good, right?
Like
Whatever we wanted to do,
whatever,
we could do.
like sports wise, like of course, like
Sports
the
wise,
only
yeah.
condition was like your studies shouldn't get affected,
Exactly.
which was like very easy for me. Like in school, it's very easy to like do everything, right? So when I picked like football, then just like opportunities just started. Like there was some international coaches who had come to Tata Colony. At this time, I remember this. We had just moved to like the other place, just right opposite the big ground, and those international coaches, they had come from, one was from Newcastle, one was from Manchester United, and they had come to hold like a training camp for on that ground, but not for like the kids in the colony.
Right.
It was external. Like the whole of Mumbai was free to sign up, pay and attend.
Right.
And there was like a cutoff age, like at 12 years old. I was 9.
Oh, okay.
And I still remember just like the first day it started, I was like, what is this camp? Okay? And I was only watching. I didn't even know what was happening at that time. I was like, I just know that there's a football coaching happening, and I wanted to go. Like that's the only thing I wanted as soon as I saw it.
Yeah.
And I just waited and I like watched one whole session. And after that, like this coach, like he saw me. He's like, why are you just like standing there on the fence and like watching? So he came up to me and asked me, like, this is the first time I think I've ever heard somebody talk in a British accent.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I think this guy like is very legitimate. So I spoke to him, like I was like, I really want to play. And he's like, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 9. So he's like, do you have your boots? He's like, yeah. He's like, where do you stay? He's like, right there. So he was like, go get your boots then, you know. And then like literally like dad didn't even know that I was going to join.
Okay.
Mom didn't even know. She was just home. Like, where are you going? I'm going to play football.
Okay.
Okay, go. Then this was the summer camp. Like this was the summer like where school was off. So
yeah.
all I was doing was just watching. So first day I watched, he was like, okay, we have another session at 3 o'clock. You come for that. And then when I went there, dude, like that's when I really learned like, first of all, what is peripheral vision? Like how you can look up and still have the ball at your feet.
Right.
I think that's the one thing that I very clearly remember learning. Like how that coach taught us to look up and play. Look up and play. Like you don't need to look at the ball as much as you can take touches, but your head should be up. And again, like that was like the most fundamental thing that I learned when I was 9, and that changed everything after that.
Nice.
So yeah, what about you? Like when you were growing up, when did you pick up like some sport? What's the first sport that you remember?
I think I started with swimming because you remember right after we moved to the
we had a big ground
and then behind that
Olympic size pool.
Yeah, we had a really big pool, and then me and my friends were just like swimming jana hai, so.
But that was very deep. That was like some 15 feet deep, so you can't like not swim.
Sure. But
yeah, it was.
It was very deep, but we didn't.
And
really
it was
care.
very uniform. So like there's no baby pool concept.
Exactly.
No.
So me and my friend just decided once that we need to go swimming, and then gradually we just started going regularly without initially we had fun just diving into the pool.
Did you take coaching?
I think I did for a while. I think I took coaching in that pool, but the coach was really happy with me, and he was like, he has a nice stroke and all, but
naturally.
Naturally. But I think we moved out of there, and that's why I couldn't continue swimming.
Yeah. I mean, we moved there when I was 9. So you must be like what, 3? 4. Correct.
Yes.
So then we moved there when I was 12.
Correct.
So I guess 3 years, how much I was swimming?
So,
you were very young.
Yeah, very young. I mean, I think I was the youngest. So.
Yeah, I mean, you do remember you had like, I still remember we had gone to Lonavala and Dad and I were in the pool, and you just came running out and you just jumped. Like you just jumped.
Yeah.
And
I don't remember that, but I've heard a lot from it.
Yeah, I mean, Dad had to just Dad was trying to like get through the water and get to you before you jump, but he like caught you right there, and you just saw us both, and you're like, I want to join, and you just ran into the pool before Mom could catch, and just like held you up like that.
Yeah.
And then you seemed very unfazed. No, you were, everybody else but you.
Yeah.
Nobody was. You were not scared. Everybody else was super scared. But then I think you picked up swimming.
Yeah, that was fun though. Swimming is like something I enjoy like regularly. So
you can swim now. Like
exactly. Yeah, we have a very nice pool in Drexel also. So hopefully I'll go someday. But yeah, like I started with swimming, but then I think we had a football at home, and then we started playing football in
We
our
played
house.
football everywhere.
Yeah, and then
In every
you
house.
were just teaching me, and you were always like nutmegging me, and I was very angry about that. So like I was trying to learn, and then you were learning as well, but you were teaching me. So that was a very nice like thing we had going on. But then like we played very regularly. I remember like football whenever like after school we came home and we were just kicking balls around like how
Yeah, I
around
mean,
the house.
we were always playing football in the house.
Uh-huh.
I remember there were times when you would play cricket, Dad would bowl, I would
Yeah,
field. Always. I
correct,
would never
correct.
bat.
Yeah.
I would always be like
Yeah.
fetching the ball.
Right.
And you would just
I would always
enjoy-
bat for
Yeah.
some reason because I liked it maybe.
No, but we just gave you. You were playing cricket also. Like I think
Mm.
you picked up cricket with some plastic bat. And
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you had again very natural in batting, and you just kept hitting. And
Yeah.
I remember this. Like we were trying to get some AC installed,
Mhm.
and by that time you had picked up cricket,
Okay.
and there were some couple of guys who had come to install the AC,
Mhm.
and the one guy, the main guy, he just stopped. He found out that you play cricket, and he kept bowling
Oh.
like balls to you
Okay.
instead of like
Repelling
okay. so like yeah, I mean it was always there. We were playing like we have broken so many things,
Yeah.
and we were always playing inside the house, and always of course playing in school.
Outside also like
Yeah.
we used to play together. I remember like always
We started playing together more when we moved
to Pune. Yeah.
Before that, I was playing in the big ground, and I
Right.
think you were just very young that time.
Mm. But then, like by the time we moved to Pune, we had like this thing where you always used to take me in your team, and then we used to play together.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, always like.
Yeah,
I
think
don't
we
remember
played.
us playing against
Very
each other.
rarely.
Yeah, very rarely. And then it sort of formed like an OP team because everyone like playing with us.
Yeah.
Like
Like it was, no matter what sort of like level that we were always playing. Like even if it's just like playing on the street.
Exactly.
I actually enjoy like all kinds of football. I've played with like people like older than me,
Mhm.
very competitive levels also. Like I've played nationals, I've played like gone and trained in like UK and all of that,
Mhm.
and come back. Yet still be very happy with just playing football on the
Yeah.
on the streets with like your friends.
yeah.
Like, people
I remember.
who are like your age. So,
I remember my friends asking me specifically to ask you to come and play with us because they just wanted like someone who's so much better than us to play with them. And
yeah, I mean I've enjoyed every bit. Like there is no bit of like, there's so many other like sports. I don't think we played any other sport together more than we played football.
yeah.
Uh, in the house, no matter what ball it was.
Yeah,
It was
it's like any size ball could do like
Yeah.
honestly. Like even sponge ball we played like in school also, like during a
Yeah.
lunch break and all, we used to play with the sponge ball and everything.
Yeah, I feel like moving to Pune, I played more football. Like, of
Mm.
course, like the seed, I would say, like I got into football in Tata Colony
Right.
when we were in Mumbai. And then when we moved, the only question I remember asking Dad was like, when we moved to Pune, like, is there a ground? Like,
Mhm.
will I be able to play football? If I can do that,
I'm good.
I don't have, I mean, I really didn't have any other question for him. It was just
Right.
like a one question thing. He said yes, and then he also told me that the school that you'll be joining has one of the best football teams in Pune.
Mhm.
So I was like,
That's
so
great.
like, yeah, that is great. And then when I joined St. Vincent's, like I remember first day,
Mhm.
I went 6th standard. Okay, first
Okay.
day.
First day.
First 6th standard, like up until 6th standard, half year I was in a co-ed school. I
Right.
think you were also in the same school.
Yeah, but I
in,
don't remember
in Swami.
anything.
Yeah, I think you were in UKG, junior KG.
Junior kid, yeah.
So I was in 6th till 6th. I was in this co-ed school in Mumbai, and yeah, like in that school, I think a lot of it was like arts oriented. Like I
Right.
was really into music also, which we can talk about later. But like sports wise, this school only had one thing: sports day,
Yeah.
which was like running and everything. So I remember running. I used to always come 2nd.
Mhm.
This one guy who was just fast. Like he's always just that much faster than me. And I tried for like since like first grade, he was just fast. Like, he would
okay,
always
yeah.
win first prize.
Okay.
I would always win second prize.
Mhm.
But so that school was more focused on like music and arts and arts and crafts, drawing and everything. And then drastic change, like a stark difference was coming to like St. Vincent's, where like everything was about football, mainly about football,
but
like people.
there were a lot of sports.
I mean,
in
all
Vincent.
sports, all sports.
Yeah.
We were all very good in all
Like
the sports.
track and field and
track and
everything.
field, basketball and football. We were like, I mean, we've been winning that competition for like 60 plus years. So when I went there, I remember going 6th standard. It was like half yearly. I joined the school. I still remember during like that small interview that you have before joining, I had passed the test and everything. The test was all fine, English, math. I was like, okay, whatever, this is great. And then I remember talking to the principal and with my parents, and they had those certificates of like that international coaching that I attended.
Right.
And they told him like, he's been playing football for like his entire life, or like since he was 6, and he's very good. And I was like, the first time I heard my parents say something like that in front of the principal, and he's like, yeah, well, we have a great football team, so I'm sure like you'll find your place there. And that was it. So then next day I come into school. The PT teacher had come into the class, and I remember like just everybody was just calling me new boy.
Okay. New boy.
Yeah, I think that's like a Vincent's thing. A lot of people just say like new boy. So I was there, and the first 4 just like lectures happened, and then after that was like lunch break, short break, and then the PT teacher came. But for some reason we did not go to the ground.
Okay.
I think I was just filling in for like somebody. It wasn't like PT period.
Okay.
So I asked like the people around, like, hey, like who plays football? He's like, these 2 guys, they are in the football team. These 2 guys, they're in the football team. I'm like, okay, so how do you join the football team? He's like, he's right, like, you can just ask the sir over there. Got up, went straight up, asked him. Like,
Okay. Nice.
Like, sir, I want to join the football team. And then he's like, well, since it was half year, the season was already over.
But you can try for next year.
No, he didn't say try next year. He just said like, just come for practice.
Okay.
Okay, we still practice. You just come for practice. And by the time the summer camp, that's when the selections happen.
Right.
In the summer camp. But you can come for practice. Can you come for practice? He's like, yeah, I can come for practice. When is the practice? He's like, 2 days after school. I'm like, sure, I'll start. I told my dad, told dad that we are, we have to go for practice. And he's like, okay, cool. Then I think I used to rickshaw back home, take the auto on those 2 days. I was like, okay. And yeah, that's how like in 6th grade, I was like, as soon as I joined the first practice, they were like, dude. It was like, I finally found like I had so many good players on my team. Like the people that I played in school with, amazing. Like
Nice.
for a lot of time, I was benched quite a lot. Can you imagine? I was benched. I was always like playing. For the first 2 years, I think I was always just playing like 15 minutes maybe out of the 70 minutes that the games were. Maybe just 15 minutes. But mainly because I wasn't like strong enough. Like I'm skinny now, so like can you imagine like in 6th grade, I was like very
Skinnier.
very very skinny. Like I used to have like trouble hitting the ball far, but I was very good on the ball. But like that, because just if you have like a kid who's just like stronger than you, he's just gonna push you.
Yeah, he's gonna.
So that was one of like the struggles.
Yeah.
But then how about like coming to Pune? What sports did like you pick up?
Dude, I've like picked up a lot of sports along the years. Like I've
Yeah.
just like tried everything and not continued with like them for like the rest of my life. But like, so I remember after coming to Pune, like I think I picked up cricket for a while. Because during the summer we had those summer camps in like Deccan Gymkhana and all.
Right.
And I used to attend those with a friend.
Why cricket? Just cricket.
Just like I think parents are like, you should do something during the summer. You can't just sit around lying all day. I'm like, okay, what should I do? And
I remember I used to go to Vincent's.
Yeah. So I used to go like every day 6:30. I used to wake up at like 5:30, go for camp from 6:30 to 8:30, like for the whole summer. It was nice. I mean, I didn't really like. I enjoyed it, but I never thought of it as like a long-term sport. I don't know why, but it was
so
just,
cricket came naturally to you.
Yeah.
So when you go there, do you pick like a position? Like I'm a batsman, so I'll train to be a batsman.
Yeah, I think I no. So the camp basically starts with them teaching you those basic moves in like batting, bowling, and then fielding. Like how do you play like a cover drive? How do you play like how do you defend the ball
Wow.
and something like that. And then how do you bowl fast? What like they ask you what type of a bowler do you want to be, and you can say like spin, any kind of spin or like
Medium
fast.
pace. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then fielding basics also they teach, and like they start by teaching this, and by the end of the camp they select a few students who they think can do better, and they call them for their like
Regular hours.
season practice, and then you can make it to the team and everything after that.
So you're
It's
playing
a pretty
season
good
ball?
deal. No, not season ball. We played like a
Hard tennis.
ball, but yeah, we had some season ball practice, but not a lot.
Is it different?
It is different. Yeah, the season ball is heavier. Like,
So
to
how does
bowl
it-
and to bat and
But like, does it pitch up? Like,
yeah, it does bounce a lot. Yeah.
how though if it's like so heavy? Like,
And
I can't
it's-
imagine.
It's just
Seam.
It bounces so quickly. You have a very short amount of time to judge the ball.
Even on spin. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
But
I've
that's
never
from
tried.
my very limited experience. But like, yeah,
I've never
tough.
tried. Like, I mean, I would.
it's tough. It's
I
tough.
can hit a baseball, but that's coming
But
directly at
you
you.
really need power in your hand, like to hit that ball. Otherwise, it's very heavy, dude. I mean,
So when these guys are hitting, they really like
Yeah.
work very hard. I mean, of course, it's a
Probably.
legitimate
yeah,
skill and sport
It is,
in
it is.
itself.
It is a skill,
People
yeah.
who do it. We have someone in our family who is
Mhm.
also trying to do it, like professionally. It's difficult. Cricket is very difficult. I think I didn't get into cricket because it's a lot of standing around. If you're not bad, right? Like
yeah,
So
or bowling.
yeah, and I was neither. Like
Mm.
I could play. I remember like there was a time when I really thought that I could like be a bowler because Dad used to teach cricket.
Exactly.
He
Yeah,
used to
Dad
coach
was
kids.
into cricket like a lot. He used to
Yeah.
have those corporate competitions and everything.
Dad
and we used to go.
Go and watch.
Yeah.
But he used to play cricket. He used to teach cricket,
Mhm.
and yeah, nobody really had any history in football.
Mhm.
In like
I think you were the first one to like pick up like.
not
football.
first one. I know. I remember Azuba used to play football, but in his school. Like that's it. Like, but of course, like watching is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Playing is like, of course.
Mhm.
So then after cricket, what did you try?
After cricket, I think I tried badminton.
Yeah,
For a while
badminton.
we went to coaching.
Yeah.
But that I don't even know if it lasted a month or so because I have no clue. Do you remember?
I think you didn't come to Solaris as
Solaris.
much as you came to the other.
Yeah,
lady
the other
that
place I
to.
used to go, but then that just stopped again.
I
don't
mean,
know
in
why.
Pune, badminton is very common.
Yeah, it
Everybody
is very-
plays badminton.
yeah, I know.
Everybody. Like I remember going to coaching for badminton in Tata Colony also,
Mm.
just because you had that community.
Yeah,
hall
I
thing.
remember going for coaching in Tata Colony as well.
Yeah, and like we weren't allowed to play on that wooden court because
Correct.
the experts played there.
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
playing on like these tiled courts.
Mm-hmm.
And only maybe on some days when people were like not there, you would be playing
Yeah.
on the wooden court. But badminton is like one of those
Like, I
games.
think
will
Tata
never
Colony
forget.
played a big role in like
Big role. Yeah.
having
giving us
exposure
that.
to all these kind of facilities and then choosing one that was
Or
like easier.
all of
or all, yeah, exactly.
I've even gone for chess coaching.
Chess.
Yeah, but like
I
only
never
for like
played
a
chess.
month.
I never played chess.
I
I don't
only
know,
for
somehow
a month.
I don't like that game.
For a month I went for chess.
Okay,
Only
okay.
for a month. Only learned some basic scholars mate and but I remember nothing. I know how to play.
Yeah,
But
even
I
I know all like I know the moves and everything, but
Yeah, I have zero strategy.
Zero.
While playing
Same,
chess.
same.
I mean, it's a great game, at some point in my life.
It is a great
I
game.
think I'll get into it, but
Mhm.
get into it like seriously,
Yeah.
because it's one of those games that it has a very big learning curve. So
Very
you
big,
go
yeah.
into it with that in mind.
Mhm.
I would rather choose another skill. Like I picked up French because it has a very big learning curve,
Right.
but not chess.
Not.
I'm already playing football.
Yeah, so I think after badminton again I had a new sports. I started skating for a while.
Why
in
skating?
Solaris. Dude, we had just moved to that place in
Kothurud.
right? And then there was this big Solaris club
Yeah.
near our place, right close, like
Yeah.
very close by.
Like right in the next lane,
Uh-huh.
and there are tennis courts, and
They had everything,
They had
right?
badminton.
And I saw that skating from outside, and I don't know, I just liked it, and I was like, I want to do this. I mean, we had gone with our parents, so I was like, I wanted to do this, and parents are like, okay, let's go. We'll ask the coach what do we need and everything, and we'll get you started. So I got a pair of inline skates, and then I just started skating, and then I did that for a while. And after that, I discovered that they had TT courts in the basement.
So what is skating like? What is the goal? You go fast?
I have no clue, honestly.
So
I never did that good in skating, right?
Your roommate skates? Right?
Yeah, my roommate does, but I never like went for any competition.
Okay.
Didn't really.
I've always wanted to
Didn't
go.
really fit with me any after I tried. So I was like, enough.
How fast are you going?
Pretty fast.
Like if you fall, you get hurt.
Yeah, you like my roommate fractured his collarbone and everything. Like while,
Because he fell?
Yeah, because he fell while like he was in a competition, and I think he got tripped or something. But yeah, he fractured.
So you are going fast.
You are going pretty fast.
Yes.
So, but yeah, after that I discovered table tennis, and I think that is the one sport that has been with me all along. After that, like I actually really like table tennis, and I do still play it like regularly now. There was a while where I didn't play it, but yeah, that's okay. But table tennis really changed how I played sports or how I looked at it, because like for my first competition I just lost in the first round, but I saw how people actually played table tennis, and that really like inspired me to do better and like just put a little more effort in myself and in practice.
You also must like that sport.
Exactly.
Right? Like if you enjoy playing it, I remember I picked up table tennis because of like dad.
Okay.
And then like Tata Colony again, because like in senior club you can play whatever games you want, all indoor games.
Indoor games,
You know,
yeah.
all indoor games. Like you had a TT table, you had a pool table, you had carom, you had
Yeah.
chess, you had like you could read
Snooker
books from the
table as
library.
well.
Snooker. That was a snooker table. There wasn't a pool
There
table.
wasn't a pool table.
Yeah. So only those uncles played.
Yeah.
Who were like professionals.
Professionals, yeah. I mean, they used to rule. Like,
Yeah, I mean you can't like just go there and play. I mean I was like really short also. I could
Yeah.
barely even look
Correct.
on the. But I used to sit and
Snooker is
watch.
also an interesting game, by the way.
Yeah.
If you've tried playing.
Never,
tough
always
game.
eluded.
Very tough game.
I don't even understand the rules yet.
It's
but
easy, man. Like one red ball and then one colored ball, and then the colored balls have different points, like 2, 3, 5, 7, I think. And red ball has 1 point.
Okay.
And then you pot one red ball, then you have to pot a colored ball.
Where the colored ball comes out.
Yeah. And that's how you get points.
Damn. Man.
And then after you've pot all the red balls, you can like you have an order which you have to follow to pot the colored balls. And the last ball is I think black. And it has like 7 points or something. Tough game.
So I remember like that's how I picked up table tennis. Like
Mhm.
just by like playing with people
Mm-hmm.
and like
No,
again
so
really
no
developed.
formal coaching.
Yeah, no, I never went for table tennis coaching.
Right.
But I've always like if I've
You have
taught you
liked the
football,
sport. Uh-huh.
yeah, I've always loved the sport.
Yeah.
Loved
It's
the sport.
it's very intense. I mean, I attended quite a few competitions. I represented school, and outside of school also I did some competitions. But like table tennis is very big in Pune. Like people are very very good at it.
Yeah, I mean I've seen it. Like I've
Very,
come to
very
competitions
good.
with you.
Yeah.
I have. There was a time when even I played for my school because
Yeah.
literally there was
Nobody,
nobody else playing
exactly.
table tennis. They were like, who will play? And then I remember saying, sir, I'll play. He's like, you? What does that mean? I was like, okay, fine, I'll still play. And then I remember playing against like the then top seed. Like,
Yeah,
Sanmay
top
Paransfield.
seed of Pune. Top
Yeah,
seed, sorry.
Top seed, yeah. Sanmay Paransfield. He kicked my ass. Like,
But people are really really good at it.
I mean, they've been playing all their lives.
Exactly. And
then
then
what I did with football,
Football,
he's
they-
done with like table
exactly.
tennis. Right, so he's gone to Germany and trained and come. It's like what am I even doing here? I think I don't think you should even play.
But that's okay. I mean, people are good, but that doesn't mean you are not.
Yeah,
as
you
good
can't
as them.
try.
Yeah,
but
you
like-
can try. There's always room for like making yourself better. So.
Yeah, but I really enjoy playing it. Like even as recreationally as it can get.
Yeah,
I can take
we
it
can
as
go.
seriously.
We can go someday.
Yeah.
And we used to go. If you remember, we used to book tables in Solaris and
That's
play
for you to
an
practice before.
hour or 2 or something, yeah.
That was for you to practice before,
Yeah.
like before you have going for some tournament, and I used to like really enjoy that. That's where I learned like a lot, because you went to coaching and then you came and like you taught me all of those things.
Right.
And I was like, I didn't even think about these things with this sport. Like how much of it is just technical, how much of it is the racket itself, the rubber itself.
Right.
You can probably tell us
And
more about it.
analyzing your like opponent's game, how does he play? Like during, like we have those warm-ups, right? Before you start a match, you warm up with your opponent, and then from that you can tell a lot about his game and everything.
Like how his backhand is.
Yeah. And something I learned recently is that like if you're missing a lot of serves, it means that you're not like confident with your game, and also so you have to pay really close attention.
How can you miss a serve? Like
I mean, like service faults, right?
Right.
So that's like a direct point to your opponent, right?
Right. I mean, there is so much strategy.
It makes sense. Exactly. There's so much strategy. You don't even like, just for the spectators, it's like just a nice rally and like entertainment, right? But for the players, it's much deeper than that.
Yeah, like you can.
And that's like for every sport, I feel.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like if you're playing it at a level which is competitive enough, it's different. Like I can tell you from experience that 6th standard I started playing with like my football team. Then 7th I joined that coaching in with Alec Turner, and then I got the chance to like go to UK.
Right.
It's different.
It's different.
The time that I spent, like that is when I felt like I actually, I mean, apart from the things that those coaches had taught me when I was 9, when I was in 7th grade and I went to UK, I had cried and cried my eyes out to tell my parents, like tell our parents, and say, please send me there, please, and they did. So it was tough at the time. It was also very important, and for me, and when I went there, dude, it was
insane.
Like the things that I have learned, all my touches, and we used to have like, they used to record all our games first. That was just new technology for me at the time. Playing on turf first, getting turf shoes, playing on like class 3 pitches, like grass 3, like those are like properly maintained grass pitches.
Damn.
They are almost like half a foot of like grass, and then that's what you play on.
Ooh, nice.
And you need like those studs for that, because if you just play with like the regular boots that you buy, then you're just going to slip all the time. You just have like, you don't have
the grip. Have no grip on the
no grip.
So you can't run, you can't tackle anything.
Yeah. You can't run. You just can't run. So forget running with the ball. You just can't run. So I remember going there, and that is when, like, of course, Alec was like, he was an FA level certified coach. So to learn from him was like the formation, like of the basics of the game, like how you should develop like a mind for football. It is so much in regards to the position that I wanted to play. I was like, I want to score more goals.
Okay.
But they came to me and they're like, no, you're actually like a more of like a, like
midfield.
You would see the game out, you would get your team out of difficult spots, and you see the game differently than all the others. Like somebody else can do the scoring, and I remember still being very sad about that.
Okay.
Which is,
I think you took time to accept.
Yeah, in hindsight, I was like, no, why? I want to score goals. But I distinctly remember, like, we used to have these coaches, they used to tape all of these sessions, they used to tape our practice, they used to tape our touches, they used to tape these small-sided practice games, like in practice when you play like 3v3, 4v4, just attack versus defense. That's when they actually like saw me, analyzed it, and then we all were sitting and we were all discussing everybody's roles and positions, and I was like, this is so good, like we actually do this, we actually understand what our mistakes are.
Correct.
And when they did those video sessions, that's when they sort of went to every player and they explained like, what do you think you should have done?
Okay.
What do you think you can do? What are your options? How do you look behind before you turn? Can you turn?
Okay.
How much do you rely on your teammates? Because if he's not telling you that there's someone behind you, you have to make sure you know and you tell him that.
Exactly.
You have to tell me.
Okay.
I am in this position. You have to tell me. So you tell your centre back or you tell your number 9 to tell you that when you are in that position, you have to shout.
You have to shout.
There's so much on like, they stress so much on like communicating. and that's then the drills that we did, and then they came to me and they told me like you should really try to pull back more from the 9 and try to be more on the ball. The more you are on the ball, the more you're going to contribute to the game. And that's when I decided like, okay, not maybe, but I have to take their suggestions.
Right.
And then it changed.
I mean,
and I
the
enjoyed
suggestion came right from the experts, right?
Yeah.
So.
They are trained experts in, I mean, just training on those pitches every day, like staying in that facility.
Right.
I used to email dad every day from
Okay.
there.
Oh,
Every
that's
day.
nice.
Yeah, we had access to like PCs, internet, everything. That like international calling was a little bit tough, and the only person who had a phone was
Dad.
No, not dad.
Oh,
like the
okay.
coach.
Oh, okay.
And there were like 16 people.
Oh,
So how many parents will call him? Right?
Exactly.
So maybe maybe just once. But
How long were you there?
about like a month.
A month, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a long time.
Yeah, dude, it was amazing. Like the minute I landed, like the night that I was leaving, I remember we went back to Tata Colony to stay, and I was leaving for the UK.
Okay.
I remember I couldn't sleep.
Ooh, you were so excited.
Yeah, I could not sleep that night. I was like, I am really going to go to the UK and learn football for like one whole month.
Yeah.
I even
I
missed
mean,
like
that's
a
very
week.
exciting for it. Well, yeah.
I even missed a week of school
Oh, yeah, correct.
because it was sort of in the middle, and then I finished that coaching. Learned a lot.
Nice.
Learned a lot. Things that even now are like very evident in the way I play. They just helped me so much because I sort of got that kind of exposure.
Right.
Then came back, then started with school. Then I started getting some really like good game time, and went on to like national, state nationals.
Yes, that's great.
Continued playing through university. Again went for university states. It was great, like amazing feeling to even do whatever at any level that I was at. I think I was very happy with the fact that I took it as far as I can. At one point, I even told mom and dad that I'm in 9th grade. I'm quitting school because Ronaldo in Brazil, like that time, used to like he was like he quit school in 9th grade because he wanted to play football. I'm done. As soon as I go into 9th grade, I'm going to stop.
Oh.
And then they laughed, which would be the obvious reaction in hindsight. Now that I think about it, they were like, "You don't do that. You just do school and you take whatever you want to do in football, whatever you want to do, even whatever." They just never stopped. I feel they were I can credit them a lot. Like they were very instrumental in giving as much as possible.
Yeah,
like, of course, not the
definitely.
unrealistic demands. Like,
But-
you can't buy a 1400.
But yeah,
rupees
if
football.
you came up with something new and you wanted to give it a try, they were like always like, yeah, sure, go ahead. See if you like it or not, and then we can go forward with it. So
yeah,
it was a
always.
very supportive move. Like,
Yeah.
They were always supported us. I mean,
in whatever.
exactly.
Yeah.
Not just like sports, but everything.
Yeah, I always felt that they didn't do enough, but they were always doing like so much more.
Like the best they could.
Yeah. I mean, the best they could was all that I needed at that
Exactly.
time. I did not need anything more than that. I already went to the UK and came. What more can you do? Like, so, just, I used to cry because they didn't like buy a football worth 1400 rupees. I'm like, that's a little out there. Yeah, I understand. But they did.
Yeah, because like I remember I got my like table tennis racket, which was like pretty expensive for us like at that time also.
Yeah.
But like they did get me one, and like my game improved. But like we had tried to I had tried to get that racket for a long time. I was begging them just like buy me a racket, because my other racket was pretty new, and I thought I needed a good racket, so I was just like, just buy me one. And then this went on for about a month or so, and then they actually got me one, and I was like very happy after that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a difference. We only feel now, like I can only realize now that
Correct.
how difficult it must have been.
Exactly.
With like now I know like how you have to like budget and count everything into like everything into like that account, which also makes me like really scared about like what is in the future, what demands, but yeah, I feel like there was no excuse for not doing it seriously.
Exactly.
And I know like I took that very seriously. Like if they're doing so much, I was giving it everything on the pitch. Like I used to play for like 5 hours and I don't remember being tired. I'm tired now. Like now I get tired very easily,
Hmm.
but like just never being tired. Like just coming back with like cramps in my legs and like waking up screaming at night because like my calves are like cramping up, but still going for like practice.
Yeah.
There was no excuse of like not playing and not playing football and trying to get like better all the time. Like just get better and
Nice.
just continue to play. And then we used to watch a lot of football.
Yeah.
Like
We watched like, and after like we got the PS2, you remember we only played FIFA on that. I don't.
I
remember
still
playing-
only play FIFA on the PS5.
only FIFA. Like
There
I
was
don't
no
remember playing any other game except for like some NFS or something. We didn't have any other game.
Okay.
And then like we just progressed like from FIFA 12 to 13, 14. Now we just like, and now we have FIFA 22.
So like now,
Great.
so good segue to go into how did you get into esports?
Oh, esports, like I used to play video games for quite a bit, but then like right after COVID hit, we had nowhere to go like for playing anything, and everyone was bored. So everyone just started playing whatever they can on their PCs. So I started with CS:GO, and then this new game called Valorant came out about around the same time, I think, and everyone was just like, "Oh, this is such a nice game. It's like a first-person shooter, and you should definitely try."
Even CS:GO is.
Yeah, so it was very similar to CS:GO.
Okay.
So, but that's how I got into like esports initially. But then what happened is like I didn't have like a good PC to support.
Again,
these games.
it comes down to equipment. Every single time, it comes down. I mean, it is important. Like I feel like no matter what you do now, of course, having the correct equipment is like
Very important.
But you must like reach a point where like you're physically not like now like electronically just not able to get better,
Better,
and the
yeah.
only reason that is stopping you
is equipment.
Yeah.
So that's the point where you need an
correct.
upgrade. Like,
If I see some sort of commitment to that purpose,
exactly.
then like you'll get better, right?
Yeah.
Of course, because you're trying to max out the capacity of whatever it is that you have.
Yeah.
And I would say like if I'm a parent, like if I see that much commitment to it, then it's very easy for me to like just make that choice.
Exactly. Yeah, so like for the first lockdown, I remember I just like got by watching tournaments that were going on online, because everything was online, right? So
Yeah.
even the tournaments, like if you remember, we used to watch those CS:GO tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, I got into CS in COVID because of you.
Yeah,
and
because-
like we started playing,
Yeah.
and then it was a little bit difficult with like the ping.
Yeah,
all over.
servers.
Yeah, servers all across the world.
But like those tournaments really like got me interested into esports, and that's how I learned what goes on. And again, so much strategy. I mean, like
that is
insane.
just another level of
It's-
strategy.
Exactly, like how do you use your utilities and like your like gun mechanisms and everything. Just like you have to like really put effort in.
How much of it is dependent on? So what are the physical aspects of it? Like how do you position your mouse and all? How much
Exactly.
or which mouse do you use?
I think
What's the
that-
sensitivity.
I think like that comes with practice.
Okay,
And
so it's
like,
still
the
practice
more you
hours.
practice, the more you get better, and like you understand like what settings fit best for you.
In that way, it's very similar to just
So
sport in
yeah,
general.
exactly. It's like very similar to any other sports.
Okay.
So yeah, and like one of the best players, he's known as Simple, if you know.
Oh, of course I know.
Yeah, so I think he just like he has like more than 12,000 hours on that game, and that's
Just Go.
just CS:GO.
He must have been from all versions. of
Exactly,
CS.
but like that is the like amount of time you have to put into get
To become the best in the
yeah
world.
to, not best, but like at least like represent, like get selected for a team or something. But it's not easy, as people say. I've heard like this is not a very good game, or like it's easy to go pro, but it's not. It's actually very tough.
In India, it's even
And in
harder.
India, actually, it's getting harder because people are getting more into like
People are
because of
getting
PUBG.
better also.
Exactly, and it started PUBG Mobile for like
yeah, but
For
now there are
Indians.
like esports like competition.
Competition,
There are,
yeah,
like
people are earning from esports in India, and that's like a very good thing to know. So
Yeah,
that's
very
good.
promising.
Yeah, very promising. Like there's a very bright future for
Yeah, I would say
in like esports.
It's the same amount of mental, like how football is like a lot, like it takes everything from me mentally. It's not like I'm thinking about anything else while playing. It's exactly the same with esports.
Exactly.
I would say like
It's exactly the same. I think it should be. Now it has a tagline that esports. Otherwise, everyone used to call it just like, yeah, this guy plays video games.
Computer games.
Computer games. Yeah, exactly. Computer games.
Computer games.
It wasn't really recognized up until very recently.
Mainly because the fact that it comes from like maybe some people from like the previous generation just look at it as sitting in one place.
Exactly.
Like the computer is now so many things. Like my entire like content thing is based on like
exactly.
computers. So like I have to sit and put in the hours.
So it's not like people had a hard time accepting that you can make money off of like playing video games and letting people watch how you play video games and everything, streaming and.
Yeah, I think it's very new.
It's very new.
It's good, but like I love
it's
it.
very good, yeah. Yeah, so like after like the first lockdown, I asked my father to get me a decent laptop so that I could play games, and like I got one, and then after that
Yeah,
I just
actually,
started.
you asked for like engineering.
Yeah. Engineering, yeah. I asked like engineering 39 laptop, and then he's like, okay, okay, na. So I got it.
I did the same engineering as you. I don't remember making any such demands. But I had others. I had to buy guitars.
Yeah.
So like I got guitars. And I bought like football boots.
Yeah.
So similar.
But yeah. So then during the second lockdown, I remember like a bunch of my friends just started like 5 stacking, and then we just like used to play from like 10 p.m. to like 3 a.m. or something.
Okay.
Like we just played like every day from 10 p.m. we just sat, and after dinner we had literally nothing to do. So we just sat, we played for hours and hours, and
you got better?
Yeah, we got better. Like all of us, like as a team, we had this team, and then we played a tournament as well. Like me, Amod, and then a bunch of other dudes, and then like it was fun. It was like.
It's good to know that
it was
there's like a local level tournament also.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like how tough tournaments happen.
Exactly, yeah.
That's nice.
And that was like we were playing with some people from Kerala or something for a first match, and then the next match was against some Delhi pros, and then we just lost.
They're good.
Yeah, they were very good. But the organizers were like, you all play very well. Do you want to like play with us sometime or sometime? So we were like, yeah, we'll play. But that really didn't happen. So
I guess it's different priority wise also. Like people are, I don't think like a lot of people that you played with are looking to get into esports.
But like during COVID, we didn't have anything, right? So if we wanted to, we could have gotten really good at.
And you did.
I mean,
at least
not very good, but like just average maybe.
So
but
who
like,
do you think like is the best player or the best team for like Valorant and CS? Are they the same sort of teams?
So for Valorant, I really haven't like followed Valorant for a while.
Okay.
So, but CS:GO, like I started with liking Astralis, like you know.
Yeah, I'm aware of all these teams. I've watched multiple hours. Like when I was working through, because when I was working through COVID, these were the only streams that would run. Like,
exactly.
And I used to just very easily just be there. It's like it's so entertaining.
It's very entertaining.
Like I started loving maps like because I used to see the way they played.
Exactly. And
like,
they put in a lot of work. I mean,
even behind the scenes.
Exactly, even behind the scenes, their practices and everything.
Yeah, they have like these. They have massive sessions where they discuss strategy and then they practice all the things that they're doing, and it's like taking 1,000 penalty kicks. They practice throwing one grenade like
as effectively as possible. Like insane. So I started with liking Astralis, but then I think 2-3 members left, and then that team just didn't do really well after that, and they had a hard time like coming up and performing. But so then after that I liked FaZe for a while. FaZe Clan was nice. Navi, I mean, I haven't been a very big Navi fan, but I've always had respect for Simple because he's an insane player. Like
a natural talent.
Yeah, and like he performs every game. He shows up every game. Like
He has a sticker on the map.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like his
own graffiti he has on the map. So
no scope.
so he's just insane. But I have respect for him. But I think like for Navi, he just carries Navi a bit, and like the people don't support him. Like I
What
think
about
he's
young
just
talent?
too good. He's
What
just
about young
too good.
talent? Zayu?
Young talent, yeah, Zayu is like very nice. He's like the only competition for simple, I think. So let's see how that goes. I think there should be another, like the Rio Major happened just now, so
Okay.
that was nice.
Any other sports
Any other
that you
let's see.
have? I mean, I think I've only predominantly played just one sport, and
Yeah,
there
same.
is-
So like
there's
for
so much
me,
to
it's
it.
just table tennis, which I've been playing for quite some time now, and football, obviously, with you. So those two are the really like prominent sports in my life, and then esports now. So
Nice. And you see yourself like continuing to
yeah,
like,
definitely
be involved in these sports, at
definitely
least.
continuing these three sports at least, like not three, but like esports and then football and table tennis.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Like we spoke a lot. Okay, so I think that was it. Like we spoke a lot about sports, but if you guys have any more topics that you would want to have more information about from us, or like if you had any questions, please let us know. And it's always fun to like take more questions and talk about them, because that just gives us more topics to talk about. So yeah, I guess that's it for this episode, and we will see you in the next one. Bye bye.